ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Okay, good morning everybody. So in the previous class we discussed about thermal expansion of liquids. How many types of expansions liquids have? How many types of expansions liquids? Liquids having only volume expansion. Liquids must have only volume expansion. That volume expansion is of two types again. That volume expansion is of two types. What is the two types of expansion? Quotient of apparent expansion and quotient of real expansion. We already discussed about what is apparent and what is real. So now we can discuss about, so here, so let it is the cylindrical vessel. So the liquid is taken up to the point A. The liquid is taken up to the point A here. So now if the temperature, that means if we heat the container, generally the liquid level rises up to the point C. But actually what happens? Before the heat energy is supplied to the liquid, first solid gets expanded. Solid gets expanded. Due to the expansion of the solid, first the liquid level falls down to the point B. Due to the expansion of the solid, the liquid level falls down to the point B and then increased. That is the actual concept. So based on this we have defined two. First one is coefficient of apparent expansion. Coefficient of apparent expansion. So it is denoted with gamma A. Quotient of apparent expansion. So it is defined as the ratio of apparent change in volume, the ratio of apparent change in volume to original volume per unit rise in temperature. Per unit rise in temperature. This is called quotient of apparent expansion. Ratio of apparent change in volume to original volume per unit rise in temperature. So just like the quotient of linear expansion, areal expansion, volume expansion, the definition is also the same. Ratio of apparent change in volume. Let here V dash be the apparent increase in volume. Let V1 is the original volume. V dash is the apparent increase in volume, that means A to C, that is. Let V1 is the original volume. Then what is the change in volume here? The change in volume is equal to V dash minus V1. So the change in volume is equals to V dash minus V1. This is the change in volume. So what is the definition? It is ratio of apparent change in volume to original volume. So this gamma A is defined as the ratio of apparent change in volume to original volume per unit rise in temperature. So that is the formula. Gamma A is equals to V dash minus V1 divided by V1 into T2 minus T1. The unit is per degree Celsius or per degree Fahrenheit, like that. So this is the quotient of apparent expansion. Apparent increase in volume. Apparent increase in means what we observe, that is. But what is actually happened, that is real. But what we observe, that is apparent. So V dash minus V1 is the apparent change in volume. Original volume is V1. Rise in temperature is T2 minus T1. Let us say T1 is initial temperature and T2 is final temperature. This is quotient of apparent expansion definition. So from this we can write, so remember that this is the formula of quotient of apparent expansion. So from this gamma A into V1 into T2 minus T1 is equals to V dash minus V1. Therefore, V dash is equals to V1 plus gamma A V1 into T2 minus T1. So here V1 common, 1 plus gamma A into T2 minus T1. So V dash. So this is V dash is equals to V1 into 1 plus gamma A into T2 minus T1. So this is the final apparent volume of the liquid, or V dash minus V1 is the apparent change. So this is the quotient of apparent expansion. And here the points, remember, this is coefficient of apparent expansion. Quotient of apparent expansion depends on nature of the liquid. So what is the liquid we are heating? What is the liquid we are taking into the container? So that means apparent expansion depends on nature of the liquid and nature of the container also. Nature of container. Coefficient of apparent expansion depends on nature of liquid and nature of the container also. So what is the container? What is the material we have to consider? So maybe it is aluminum, or maybe it is copper, or maybe it is iron, like that, or maybe it is steel, whatever it is. Whatever is the container we can consider. So quotient of apparent expansion depends on that nature of the container as well as nature of the liquid. So this point is very important. Here it is, that one. So this is quotient of apparent expansion. So ratio of apparent change in volume to original volume per unit rise in temperature. So next to the definition. So next one, it is coefficient of real expansion. Quotient of real expansion, that is gamma R. Coefficient of real expansion. It is defined as the ratio of real increase in volume to original volume per unit rise in temperature. So that is the real expansion, coefficient of real expansion. So first one is quotient of apparent expansion and next one is quotient of real expansion. So it is defined as the ratio of real increase in volume to original volume, per unit rise in temperature. What is the real increase in volume? First the liquid level falls to the point B and then rises. That's why BC is the real increase in volume. BC is the real increase in volume. So that's why let's V2 be the real final volume, let us say, and V1 is initial volume. EV1 is initial volume. What is the real change in volume? Real change in volume So that is equals to V2 real change in volume, that is V2 minus V1. So that is the real change in volume. So now definition, according to the definition, gamma R is equal to, according to the definition, gamma R is equals to, what we can write, V2 minus V1 by V1 into T2 minus T1 per degree Celsius. Gamma R is equals to V2 minus V1 by V1 into T2 minus T1 per degree Celsius. This is the quotient of real expansion. So according to the definition, ratio of real increase in volume, V2, apparent is considered as V dash, real is considered as V2, just it is differentiate these two only. So, but finally the liquid level must be the same. Of course, it is real increase or apparent increase, final volume must be same, but change in volumes must be different. Change in volumes must be different. So that is here. So this is the ratio of real increase in volume to original volume. This is the real increase in volume and it is the original volume initially per unit rise in temperature, that is T2 minus T1, T2 minus T1. Now here from this we can write gamma R V1 into T2 minus T1 is equals to V2 minus V1. Therefore, V2 is equals to V1 plus gamma R V1 into T2 minus T1. So, V2 is equals to V1 common 1 plus gamma R into T2 minus T1. V2 is equals to V1 into 1 plus gamma R into T2 minus T1. So, this is the final volume of the system, final volume. So, this is the quotient of real expansion and quotient of apparent expansion. Here one more thing is, the important point you have to remember is, coefficient of real expansion, quotient of real expansion depends only on nature of liquid. Quotient of real expansion depends only on the nature of the liquid. It does not depends on the nature of the container. It's very, very important point. Only apparent expansion depends on the nature of the container, but real expansion does not depends on, real expansion does not depends on, what is that, nature of the liquid. Real expansion does not depends on nature of the liquid. So that is the situation. So right, this is the quotient of real expansion. These are the two definitions in case of expansion of liquids, thermal expansion of the liquid. If the temperature of the liquid column, temperature of the liquid changes, then the liquid level rises. Liquid level rises. How the liquid level rises means this one. Now, then what is the relation between these? Quotient of real expansion and quotient of apparent expansion. How can we derive these two? So that's we can discuss now. Relation between coefficient of apparent and real expansions. Relation between coefficient of apparent and real expansions. So how can we derive this relation? It's very, very simple. See here, Again I am considering the cylindrical vessel. Let us say the liquid level is up to the point A. If you supply the heat energy to the cylindrical, if you supply the heat energy to the cylindrical vessel, if we supply the cylindrical vessel, sorry, if we supply heat energy to the cylindrical vessel, what happens? First, what is that? First, the solid substance gets heated. Solid substance gets heated. After that, heat energy supplied to the liquid. First, solid gets heated. After that, heat energy supplied to the liquid. So that means due to the heating of the solid first the liquid level falls down because the solid expands first. Because the solid expands first, that is equals to the liquid level falls down, and then the liquid level rises, let us say up to the point C. Liquid level first falls down and then the liquid level rises up to the point C. That is the actual thing. Initially the liquid level is up to the point A. Now we are supplying heat energy here. We are supplying heat energy first to the solid substance, not the liquid directly. Without heating the solid, heat energy does not supply to the liquid. That is the concept. So first we supply heat energy. What happens? The heat energy is solid. First solid gets heated. Solid gets heated. That means solid expands first. Solid expands first. Due to the expansion of the solid, liquid level falls slightly. Of course, may be considerable or may not be considerable, but definitely the liquid level must falls. So let us say that is up to the point B. Once the heat energy is supplied to the liquid from the solid, or the heat energy supplied to the liquid from the container, then the liquid level gets raised. Let us say the final level is up to the point C. Now from this we can write BC is the here BC is real expansion. BC is the real expansion and AC is apparent expansion. BC is the real expansion and AC is the apparent expansion. And what is AB or BA? AB is the expansion of container. Whatever is the container we considered, so that AB is the expansion of the container. So that's only BC is called real expansion and AC is called apparent expansion. Then AB is the, what is that AB? Expansion of the container. So from this we can write, from this formula we can write real expansion is equals to apparent expansion. Real expansion is equals to apparent expansion plus expansion of container plus expansion of container. So these are the definitions. Real expansion is equals to apparent expansion plus expansion of the container. That is the concept. What is the real expansion? Here it is BC is equal to real expansion. BC is equals to what is the apparent expansion? AC plus expansion of the container is AB. BC is equals to AC plus AB. BC is equals to AC plus AB. So now, so this is only length. BC is the length of the liquid column, AC and AB all are the length of the liquid columns. Based on these lengths, we can't define quotient of apparent expansion like that. What is quotient of apparent expansion or real expansion? Change in volume to original volume per unit rise in temperature. Change in volume to original volume per unit rise in temperature. But it is only lengths. Then what we can do? Multiply with volume formula, volume of the cylinder. What is the volume of the cylinder formula? pi r square h or pi r square L. H or L is the length of the cylindrical column. Pi r square is nothing but area into h. So here throughout the length, see here throughout the length, area of cross section remains constant. Throughout the length, area of cross section remains constant. Then multiply with area on both sides. Multiply with area on both sides. So that means A into BC is equals to A into AC plus A into AB, where A is the area of cross section. A into BC is equals to A into AC plus A into AB. What is BC? Real increase in volume. So that is area into length is nothing but volume. Area into length is nothing but volume. So real increase in volume, V2 minus V1. V2 minus V1. So next A into AC. A into AC. What is this? Apparent increase in volume. AC is the apparent increase in length, but area into length is nothing but volume. That's why AC is the apparent increase in volume. So let us say that is V dash minus V1 plus A into AB. AB is the what? What is AB? Expansion of the container. Area into length is nothing but volume, change in volume. Let us say it is change in volume delta V. Change in volume of the glass or container, whatever it is. Change in volume of the glass or container. Just I am considering here it is. Area into expansion of the container. AB is the expansion of the container. Area into expansion of the container. Just I am considering the change in volume of the container. Change in volume of the container. For our convenience, it is considered as glass, like that. Next, in this situation, dividing on both sides with V1 into T2 minus T1. Dividing on both sides with V1 into T2 minus T1. That means we got V2 minus V1 by V1 into T2 minus T1. That is equals to, so V dash minus V1 by V1 into T2 minus T1 plus delta V by V1 into T2 minus T1. For this, dividing on both sides with V1 into T2 minus T1. So that is a V2 minus V1 by V1 into T2 minus T1. Here V dash minus V1 by V1 into T2 minus T1. So delta V by V1 into T2 minus T1. So that is V2 minus V1 by V1 into T2 minus T1 is considered as quotient of real expansion, and this is quotient of apparent expansion. So this is the according to the definition and the formula previously we discussed. This is considered as quotient of real expansion. This is quotient of apparent expansion, plus this is the quotient of volume expansion of the container. Volume expansion of the container. In in thermal properties of solids, thermal expansion of solids, we have the quotient of volume expansion. What is the quotient of volume expansion? Change in volume by original volume per unit rise in temperature. Change in volume by original volume per unit rise in temperature. That's why it is gamma G. So this is the relation between quotient of real expansion, apparent expansion. Gamma R is equals to gamma A plus gamma G. So here we can write gamma R is equals to gamma A plus 3 alpha G. Since we know gamma is equals to 3 alpha. Of course, this is gamma R, it is gamma A and it is gamma G. All three are volume expansions only. All the three are volume expansions only. But we wrote only gamma G is equals to 3 alpha G. We wrote only gamma G equals to 3 alpha G. We are not writing gamma r is equals to 3 alpha r and we are not writing gamma a is equals to 3 alpha a. What is the reason here? That is important point. One more thing, it is gamma r is equals to gamma a plus gamma g. That is the relation between quotient of real expansion and quotient of apparent expansion. And what is gamma g we are considering? Volume expansion of the container. Gamma g what we are considering is volume expansion of the container. So, but volume expansion of the container can be written as 3 alpha g, no doubt about that. Then why don't we write gamma r equals to 3 alpha r and why don't we write gamma a is equals to 3 alpha a? Because liquids gamma r, what is gamma r? Quotient of real expansion of the liquid. Quotient of real expansion of the liquid. In case of liquids, the liquids doesn't have linear expansion. Liquids doesn't have linear expansion. So that's why it is not possible to write gamma r equals to 3 alpha r or gamma a is equals to 3 alpha a. Here gamma r and gamma a belongs to completely liquid only. But gamma g belongs to expansion of the container. Due to the expansion of the container only, first initially the liquid level falls down. Due to expansion of the container only, the liquid level falls down. So that is considered as expansion of the container. Container means it is solid. Solids having linear expansion, areal expansion, volume expansion. That's why gamma g can be written as 3 alpha g. But gamma r and gamma a not possible to write 3 alphas, because gamma r and gamma a absolutely belongs to liquid. Liquids doesn't have linear expansion. So that's why it is not possible to write like this. So this is the relation between quotient of real expansion and quotient of apparent expansion. So we know the values. Gamma r is equals to gamma a plus gamma g. That is the relation. Gamma r is equals to gamma a plus gamma g. Now in this situation, gamma r is quotient of real expansion, gamma a is quotient of apparent expansion, gamma g is volume expansion of the container. Gamma g is the volume expansion of the container. Okay, well and good. Now, for example, the condition is if the same liquid is heated in different containers, same liquid is heated in different containers. In this situation, gamma r value remains constant. If the same liquid, for example, if we consider the water, if we consider only water, water is heated in the same container, water is heated in the two different containers. One is steel, another one is copper or aluminum. One is steel, another one is aluminum. If the water is heated in these two containers, for these two containers, quotient of real expansion is same. What is the reason is quotient of real expansion depends only on the nature of the liquid. Whatever it may be the container is, whatever it is the container is, it depends only on the nature of the liquid. It does not depends on the container. So that's why in these two situations gamma r remains constant. So therefore gamma r of first container is equals to gamma r of second container. That's why gamma a plus gamma g of first container is equals to gamma a plus gamma g of second container. Gamma a plus gamma g of first container plus gamma a plus gamma g of second container. This is one concept in this. Gamma r is equals to gamma a plus gamma g in this. If the same liquid is heated in different containers, gamma r is constant. quotient of real expansion is same in those two containers, because it depends only on the nature of the liquid, does not depends on the nature of the container. So that's why gamma R is same for those two. Gamma A plus gamma G of the first container equals to gamma A plus gamma G of the second container. For different containers, apparent expansion is different, because apparent expansion depends on nature of the container. So we discussed already. Next, in this situation, when the liquid level rises or when the liquid level falls, let us discuss about that. So in this first case, if in this situation, if gamma R is greater than gamma G, so the first case, if gamma R is greater than gamma G, quotient of real expansion is greater than quotient of expansion of volume expansion of the glass, then gamma A is positive, right? If gamma R is greater than gamma G, so gamma R minus gamma A, gamma R minus gamma G, that is equals to gamma A. So that gamma A is positive, apparent expansion is positive, that means liquid level rises. So liquid level rises in the container. So first condition, if gamma R is greater than gamma G, quotient of real expansion is greater than quotient of volume expansion of the glass or container. So see here, gamma R is greater than gamma G, then gamma A is positive. Gamma A is positive. So that's why the liquid level rises. Next, second condition, if gamma R is less than gamma G, for example, quotient of real expansion of the container is, quotient of real expansion of the liquid is less than quotient of volume expansion of the glass, then gamma A is negative. See here, if gamma R is less than gamma G, if it is less, and that means here first condition, if gamma R is equals to 2 into 10 power minus 6, if gamma G is equals to, let us say, 1 into 10 power minus 6, then gamma A is equals to gamma R minus gamma G, that is 2 into 10 power minus 6 minus 1 into 10 power minus 6. So 1 into 10 power minus 6. This is positive, that's why the liquid level rises. But in the second situation, if gamma R is equals to 1 into 10 power minus 6, gamma G is 3 into 10 power minus 6, then gamma A is equals to gamma R minus gamma G, 1 into 10 power minus 6 minus 3 into 10 power minus 6, that is equal minus 2 into 10 power minus 6. This is negative. Gamma A we got value is negative. Negative in the sense liquid level falls. Liquid level falls. The liquid level falls in the container. So this is the two conditions. Next, third situation, if gamma R is equals to gamma G, quotient of volume expansion of the liquid or quotient of real expansion of the liquid is equals to quotient of volume expansion of the container. If gamma R equals to gamma G, then gamma A is equals to 0. If gamma R equals to gamma G, then gamma A equals to 0. Liquid level remains the same. Liquid level remains the same in the container. So three situations. Next, fourth situation, if gamma G is equals to 0. If gamma G is equals to 0, that means if expansion of the container is 0, then what we can write here, gamma R is equals to gamma A. If gamma G is equals to 0, then gamma R equals to gamma A, then liquid level rises. If quotient of volume expansion of the glass is equals to 0, gamma g is equals to 0, then gamma r equals to gamma a. So, that is why the liquid level rises, liquid level rises, because on heating definitely it rises. So, these are the applications based on this gamma r equals to gamma a plus gamma g like this. So, when the liquid level rises, when the liquid level falls, when it remains same like this. Next. NTI.